Welcome to H2K Infosys. H2K Infosys is a e-verify business based in Atlanta, Georgia, United States. We provide 100% job-oriented, instructor-led, face-to-face, true live online software training programs. It also includes access to Cloud Test Lab with software tools. We provide live project for you to work on. We also provide assistance with mock interviews, resume preparation and review, and job placement assistance. H2K Infosys is trusted by so many students across the world. H2K Infosys provides world-class services in IT training with real-time project work for corporates and individuals, special IT training for MS students in the United States, software design, development, QA manual and automation, performance testing and maintenance, IT staff augmentation, job placement assistance, and tech support.
We are using to communicate the module to module.
The remote beans EJBs.
Oh, EJBs.
Exactly.
RMI, right?
Yeah, RMI communication. Here also internally the communication will be happened based on the RMI, but it was hidden.
Oh.
You are not going to touch any of those kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Krish.
Yeah, because we are communicating between two different JVMs. The client is running on my local JVM, that is from the Eclipse JVM, and the server is running on a standalone JVM. Here, two different JVMs are working, and I am communicating from one JVM to another JVM.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And let us take one small example to explain the scenario in detail. Or let me finish this one, then we'll discuss one small example why we don't need the JSP kind of stuff. First of all, let's come back to our SoapUI tool. See, currently we have seen how to test all these services or our employee service by passing all the information over. So come back to our username method. With the username method, we are supposed to send the header parameters. To pass the header parameters, here you can see that you have plenty of options here. You can just click on the header. Here you can see that username and password parameters are available at this level. Username and password. You can just set the values, username and password at this level. And once after that, you just need to enable one particular option that will be available inside the preferences. So go to File, Preferences. We are working on HTTP protocol. Here, you just need to check the box, Authenticate preemptively. Adds authentication information to outgoing request. Even if you have entered data and you didn't enable this one, your SoapUI tool won't send the information to the to the server. You just need to check this box, and then only it will prepare the request and send it to the server. See here, you have two options, XML and RAW. RAW option, you can see all the headers that are going to send to the server side. So this time, I'm going to send the username and password as well. You can see that it has added one more header, authorization header. So this time, the authorization will consist of all the details for our username and password as well. Here you can see that Steve and Steve was available.
Krish?
Yep.
What is the difference between the username within that SOAP, that XML, and the one in the header? Are they same or different?
No, this is my actual request. Don't confuse between this and the normal authorization headers. See, this is just like the normal request message. My request message itself consists of the same parameters. If I go for some other stuff, let me open this one. Even this one also, here you can see that this is a request message from salary and to salary. This is the actual request message. Here also, I can generate the username and password. Steve and Steve. For this message also, I'm supposed to send the username and password. You can see that the authorization header got added. Authorization header, which will evolve to username and password, and these two are used to verify whether the credentials, whether this client has the credentials to talk to the server or not. But this, unfortunately, we got the same parameters within our request message also.
So if someone develops an application, assume that you develop an application to calculate the mortgage. So you go and register your WSDL somewhere, and you say that for every you charge them 30 cents. So you tell them to register.
Yeah, register in the sense, yeah, normally when we are talking to the server side, or when a server was supposed to expose any web service, they are going to provide the credentials based on the client. So whenever the client is coming back with the request, they will ask, hey, please come back with authorization header, or else I'm not going to process your request.
Okay.
That is just like the security. Because web services are over the network, so that means they want some kind of validation to ensure that it was coming from the correct client only, but not from any tamperer. And whenever we are sending the request, currently this is the request and you are able to get the response. Where is the endpoint URL? The endpoint URL will be available at the top level. At the same level, here you can see that the endpoint URL, localhost 8080 with URL. If you want to change, you can just add one more URL and you can specify at this level. See, currently we are performing single test. That means we are executing single operation on our own. If you want to perform all the tests, if you want to write test case or test suite, which will consist of all the different test cases, just right click on the service, generate test suite. This test suite will create just like one wrapper, which consists of all the 4 test cases. Click on OK. This will create a test suite. Just a second. So here you can see that it has created a test suite. So these are all the 4 operations, 4 test cases for our test suite. Open each one of them, provide some request, 3,000, 4,000, and get employee list by salary, it over, get user data by employee ID. Open this one as well, provide some data. Next, username. The last one, and I'll just copy this one from the top level. So now I have prepared all requests. 4 requests I have prepared. So when you run this one, this will hit all the four test cases to the server. Here you can see that you have 2 options. The first one is selected test cases are run in sequence. That means one will hit first and it will receive the response, then only the next one will proceed. If you want to run all of them in parallel, select this option. This will create 4 different threads and it will hit all the 4 requests at the same time. You can see that all the 4 requests are triggered. If you just want to see the output, again go to the same process and you can see that the responses. Here at the bottom, you can see that there are several logs available. SoapUI log, it will just show you the each and every step. Here you can see that time was available, logging option was available, logging message was available. So that means SoapUI tool follows Log4j framework. HTTP log, it will just display only the HTTP messages, the SOAP request and response messages. We'll come back to Jetty log in a second. Memory log, here you can see that when you are performing load testing, then you can verify how much memory that got consumed by your SoapUI tool by using memory logs. Whenever there is an error, you can come and verify at this level if there are any issues. With each option, see currently this is the one which we have created, test suite. Within each test case, you can see that one test step was available and also a load test was there. Right click, create a load test. When you create a load test, you'll have several options. Here you can see that how many number of threads you want to create and how much time you want to run the test. Once after that, you can see all the statistics and how many number of transactions that will be going to hit. Let us run one. You can see that to our Tomcat, these number of requests are coming and it was handling minimum of 16 and a maximum of 1374 time, and these are the number of requests that got triggered and the transactions per second, how many number of transactions that are handling. So our server capability is 5 transactions per second. So normally whenever you have written any service, you just need to verify. We just need to verify whether our service provider or whether our service was capable of handling that many transactions per second or not. So normally it will be given by our business level itself, business logic team, the business team. They will specify how many number of requests that you are going to receive for each second. So based on this particular result, if it was not met, then you are going to create one more server and you are going to do the clustering part of stuff so that you are going to meet the required criteria. If you want to store this result, you can just export. There are several other options here. There is an export option available here. You can just export the result. See here, you can see that export statistics to a file. You just need to export the results and you can send the results back to the business team.
This is for the QA, right? Basically, when every request I'm making, I wonder whether the actual result came back or not.
I'm sorry. Can you please repeat?
For every request I'm making, the QA people, they want to know whether the actual result came or not.
No. That they will do by using test cases. Load test is used to handle the server capability.
Okay.
Whether the server was withholding these many transactions or not, that's what they'll do. They'll verify with respect to load test. Yeah, obviously that web service has to have a hosting server. Currently, our hosting server is our local system itself. Now, come back to our user data by username. Right click on this, or right click on our binding file itself. Previously, we have seen generate test suite. Now go for generate mock service. The purpose of mock service is, see, let us say you have created a WSDL file and you have distributed the WSDL file to your team or to your testing team, specifying that, hey, I have created the WSDL file and this is the request and response that will be going to contain within my WSDL. And your server was on the service provider, they are not yet up. That means there is no service endpoint available to you. They haven't written the code in a full strength. At that time, if you want to verify whether the WSDL is proper or not, whether the WSDL itself is correct or not, whether the request messages or response messages are proper or not, such type of validations you can do based on the mock service. Mock service, nothing but dummy service. Within your SoapUI, you'll have a dummy server, that is your Jetty server. Whenever you are triggering the request from the client or from your SoapUI, the request you are going to hit to the mock server, to the dummy server, and the dummy server will respond back with a static response. So currently I'm going to create a mock service to our employee. Click on OK. So here you can see that I have created the mock service for all these 4 elements. So with each and everything, with each and every operation, it will associate with the response, because mock service was supposed to respond back with a static response. You can just write some static response. So take the response from this one, get employee list by salary. Take this one and put it onto our mock response. And in the same way, get user data by employee ID. In the same way for username. Save employee. You just need to double click on that. It will open one more window. So now you have prepared a dummy responses. Once after that, start your mock server. So here you can see that there is a start button. Start this mock service on the specified port. So now your mock service is running on 8088 port. Come back to your request now. So I'm going to remove this one. So currently it is pointing to my local host. This time I'm changing to my mock service, which is running on 8088 port. Let us execute this one. You can see that the static response has received, and this was hit to my local Jetty server itself, and it was able to respond back with success response. Received response HTTP 1.1 200 OK. So this time the response was received from my local server, local to the SoapUI, but not to the actual server. So whenever you just want to verify whether the request and response are proper or not, then you can go for this kind of mechanism. And normally QA people will use this kind of mock services. That will automatically load. When you start the server, that will automatically load See, currently you just right clicked on the server itself. So, sorry, right clicked on the binding part itself. Open a request one more time. So here it will add the resource or the endpoint URL directly to that point. If it was not available, you can just add a new endpoint and you can specify the URL there itself.
Where did you get that SimHum?
That is my system name, my local system name.
Is it different from localhost?
Yeah, exactly. My local has some mapping name, so that's what it has used. See, when you right click on this and create a mock service, here it will tell you the path and also the port. So you already know the local host and you already have the port and also the corresponding path. You can just specify those details at the endpoint level itself. Here you can see that there is an option, adds the mock service endpoint to the mocked interface. This particular option has added that to the endpoint list. If you want, you can start the server immediately by specifying this checkbox itself. One more advantage with respect to SoapUI tool is currently I have written each and everything here. I have prepared my test cases, individual test cases, and I have created a test suite, and I have created a mock service. You can simply save this one, file, save. This will save the information in terms of an XML representation. So this XML, you can easily distribute to anyone, and those guys can easily import the XML based on file import project, which will access the XML file, and this will directly import all the test cases or the test suite or mock services, whatever that you have specified. That is one more advantage with respect to SoapUI tool. Did you see that, Vijay?
Yeah, I know that it is a machine you name again, but the moment you gave a different URL, is it creating one more instance of that this one for running separately?
No. That is just like the dummy URL. What it will do is the URL will receive the request, and immediately it will send the dummy response which you have specified within this module. Currently, here you have specified some dummy response, right?
Yeah.
Whenever the mock service has received the request, it will see that the request is for get employee list by salary, and I already have a dummy response. This will respond back with this particular dummy response.
Okay.
The purpose of using mock service is mainly for the testing team. Whenever the testing team wants to verify whether request and response messages are proper or not, or if at all, if the request message, at least the WSDL is proper or not. And second thing is, from the server side, the service provider, it was not yet ready. Service provider, they are not yet ready. But meanwhile,
it will be going to the same Apache, right?
Sorry?
It will use the same Apache server.
No, it was not going to the Apache server. That's what I'm telling. Mock service is just like the dummy server which was related to SoapUI. It is not at all hitting outside the SoapUI. It is purely useful for testing team only. Normally, this tool is used by the testing team. Once you have developed the service, web service on the server side, or when you want to move your web service to QA environment, nothing but testing environment or SIT environment, this was supposed to be certified by your testing team. So your testing team will be going to write all these test cases and also this particular test suits, and they will be going to verify your service whether it is capable of handling the load or not, whether it is responding back with the proper response or not, whether all the data or whether all the elements it is taking them properly or not, or whether the security checks whether it is performing properly or not. So such kind of validations the testing team can easily do based on this particular tool. Testing team, they are not at all interested to write a Java code or .NET code to verify your web service. Normally they'll use this kind of tools only. Is that clear, Tulsi? Yeah, that's all for today's class. If you guys have any questions, you can just stay for some time, or else you guys can leave from the chat.
So many of our students have given testimonials on how our training programs are. You will find them on kudzu.com and on our website h2kinfosys.com. On our website h2kinfosys.com, you will also find more detailed information on who we are, the courses that we offer, what each course covers. Also, if you're interested in a demo program, please register on our homepage on the left-hand side. Just give us more information about yourself and we will send you a link for a demo class. The demo class is absolutely free. Experience our commitment by just attending an orientation workshop at no cost. Our team of faculty and advisors are here to guide you with the right information. If you still have more questions, please feel free to call us. Call us at 770-777-1269. This is a United States number. If you're calling from the UK, call us at 020-337-17615. You can also email us at training@h2kinfosys.com or h2kinfosys@gmail.com. Thank you for watching our videos. We wish you a great career in information technology.